I was recently watching television at home a few weeks ago, and a film came on HBO, which is called The Sunset Limited. The Sunset Limited it comes from a theatrical play, which in the play it's the characters are called black and white to refer to the color of their skin. The play was then put in film and directed by Tommy Lee Jones, who plays in the film the white man. The black man in the film is played by Samuel L. Jackson. And the play, it's a conversation between Samuel L. Jackson, a Christian who has faced terrible odds because he's an ex-convict, and he now seems to be like a janitor living in this very run-down, ugly-looking apartment, no bigger than any one of our rooms. And Samuel L. Jackson has just met White, or Tommy Lee Jones, at a train station where Tommy Lee Jones is about to jump and commit suicide because he has witnessed his brother's death. His brother committed suicide, so he's going to do the same thing. He has no hope. Tommy Lee Jones is also a professor, probably a professor of philosophy. And Samuel L. Jackson, black, meets him at the train station and convinces him to go back to his room, to his apartment, where they can have a conversation about the meaning of life, the hopelessness that this white man feels, and so on. The dialogue itself is so rich that there's so much action that is portrayed and lived out in their conversation. It is a conversation between a believer and an unbeliever, between a humanistic philosopher and a Christian evangelical. The Christian evangelical is trying to tell White that there is hope in God. He acknowledges that he doesn't know everything, but he acknowledges that he knows God and that God knows him. The humanistic philosopher has all these reasons why life is not worth living, and therefore he's going to end it. It might be the easiest thing to do in life, and probably the most merciful thing is to die. While the evangelical Christian believes that life is precious, that God has a plan for him that is majestic, that is beautiful. Now, what I loved about this film, and the message that I would want to discuss about this film, is that anytime we share the gospel with someone else, they're not always going to be receptive. And what this conversation between black and white showed me is how to speak to those today in our own world who have all sorts of arguments why the scriptures and the Bible are not the Word of God or to be followed. Black converses with him, and black continuously draws him to the Lord, while white constantly resists with all kinds of reasons, but hopeless reasons. This film will help us understand and see in a very real manner how we don't have to win. We just have to present the gospel. We just need to be honest to the fact that sometimes we don't have all the answers, but we do know someone who has the answers, and that is God. So I would highly recommend to anyone really facing sharing the gospel that they look to see this film, The Sunset Limited.